Hey
Hey
everyone,
everyone,
I'm Danielle,
and I'm Devonte, and welcome to
the
the
Couples
Couples Corner.
Corner. We got to know a little bit more about how we met. In this episode, we want to talk to you guys about our dating journey.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a couple of things today. And why don't we start off with some of the challenges that we may have had when we first started?
We gotta start with the challenges. Can we talk about the good times?
Okay, we didn't discuss that.
We did it. You're right. So Sebastian and I really had a journey from friendship to dating. And when we did start dating, I would say that it was probably a great time for all of a month or two.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
We have been friends for so long. There was a shift now into dating where I feel like we had a lot of expectations now placed on the relationship. Now that you were officially my boyfriend, it's like, okay, now I have a list of things, like a laundry list of things that I want.
A laundry list.
That I'm expecting from this
I'm
relationship.
tired.
And I think that is where the start of the challenges began.
I think it's today that you finally admitted that you had a laundry list of stuff.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
6 years in, there's hope. There's hope. You sipping tea already? Oh, wow. Okay, you're sipping tea already. My gosh. I think it's time to get this conversation started.
Let's go.
All right. So,
go.
okay, let's start off with the positive, right? What
Yeah.
went well the first couple of months of us dating?
I think it felt natural. It
Okay.
felt easy because we had known each other for a while at that point. And you kind of knew my friends, and I got to know your friends. And so there was a familiarity that was there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say the same thing. I think the fact that we were friends first,
Yeah.
obviously it doesn't happen in every relationship,
Right.
but we got a chance to be friends first. So you already kind of saw my bad habits already, at least in friendship.
True.
And that honeymoon phase of like thinking that everything's perfect with your partner, that we didn't really go through that per se,
True.
so that was beneficial. I feel like we weren't trying to overly impress each other. We were just like comfortable being ourselves.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. And there was a lot of freedom in that.
Yeah, a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
So first couple months were nice. We were going places, be at restaurants. I would travel because at this time you were about an hour away from me. So I would travel from where I lived to Queens, where you were, and we would just enjoy ourselves, go out. And that first couple of months, it was smooth.
Yeah.
Until
Smooth sailing.
until
Until.
What happened after that?
I think we realized that we communicated very differently. Our communication styles were way off.
And what she means by that is, in terms of our communication styles, you can be sometimes passive aggressive or passive. Some people are just aggressive. Other people are assertive. And Danielle's communication style was very different than mine, right? Don, I would say you were more passive aggressive. You wanted to tell the people in what way you were passive aggressive?
So like if something were bothering me, I would have a hard time verbalizing exactly what it was that he did that bothered me. And I would have a difficult time saying that to him. And so instead of saying what was necessarily bothering me or what I didn't like, I would find other ways. My disappointment would come out in different ways. And sometimes I would give you a sarcastic remark, or my tone would be super.
Oh, yeah. Tone was big. Tone was a big one.
Yeah, I would have an attitude in my tone and like how I was talking, to the point where he could understand that something was wrong, but he didn't know what it was that I was upset about. So that was like the passive part of me instead of addressing it head on. Versus you, Devante, what was your communication style?
Yeah. Now, let me just be honest. I had a little bit of the passive aggressive if I wanted to be a little petty, and I felt like she was annoying me. But I was like, let's call it 10% of the time.
Right.
90% of the time, my communication style was more assertive. And the thing is, when it came to speaking about different issues or problems, I want to speak about it right there and then. I was very assertive about it. And what bothered me is sometimes I want to speak about those things right away. And she'll be like, no, I need some time to process. I need some time to process. And I said, process? We can process right on the spot. We don't need hours to process. I used to feel like her not wanting to speak about it right there and then was her pulling away. You know,
Mm.
it felt like it was you pulling away or trying to avoid the situation when it wasn't the case. You just needed time to process.
I needed time to understand what I was feeling, why I was feeling the way I was feeling. I think I more so would just avoid, like you said before. I would pull away and avoid. And I didn't necessarily have the tools to understand how I should come back and open up that conversation in a healthy way. And it could have been over really small stuff. For example, we would have miscommunications when it came to travel.
I'm not sure what she's about to say next, but
So, like Devontae said earlier, Devontae lived an hour away from me. So, if Devontae wanted to come see me, he would give me an estimated time, like, okay, I'm gonna come to you by 3 o'clock. And that's when I'll be there. Now, we would make plans based on him coming for 3 o'clock. And so I'm excited to see him. I'm excited that he's coming. And I think I would build up that excitement for 3 o'clock. And then when 3 o'clock rolls around and Devontae wasn't there, I was feeling a type of way. Like I was very upset because I felt like the first time, okay. The second time, all right. By the third time, if you're still late, something's going on and it's a
it
habit.
happened a third time.
Absolutely.
This is early in the relationship. Early, early.
And I don't think I addressed it head on. I might have been a little passive aggressive about it and gotten in the car and been super quiet,
Y'all, let me tell you what she did.
give you the silent
Let
treatment
me
for a
tell
little bit.
you. Let me tell you what she did. Not might have. She gave me the silent treatment. We would come in the car, and the thing with the silent treatment and passive aggressive, it works so well in letting you know that something is wrong, at least for me. Because my thing was she would sit down and then I would notice she is quiet. And I think for the first 30 minutes or the first 20 minutes, it's like, okay, she's normally quiet in cars. She needs to warm up because at that time when we were first dating, you would take our like about 20 minutes to warm up. And then
Still,
yeah, even when we started dating, you still did that 20-minute warm up thing. And then she would start talking, right? But I was in the car, not gonna lie. Sitting in the car, the 20 minutes is going by, she's quiet. I'm not thinking anything of it. But then the 20 minutes becomes 35 minutes. And I'm saying, okay, this is going past the regular time that she's normally quiet for.
mm,
And I was like, is everything okay? And then that's when she was like, you're always late. And da 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 da. And I was like, oh,
I unleashed.
you unleashed.
Okay.
Here I am driving in the city. It's already hectic outside. So now inside, I'm like, I'm trying to dodge. I'm dodging these bullets right now, you know?
Yeah.
But instead of just letting me know right away that that was bothering you,
Yeah.
it's like it was building up.
Hmm.
And I so wasn't used to that. The don't say anything and then it builds up or the passive aggressiveness, right? What I was used to is if there's an issue, we're going to talk about it right away and all the emotions are out,
Hmm.
you know. But I think,
Where did you learn that?
okay, where do I learn that? That's a
Yeah.
good
Like,
question.
where did you
Yeah.
learn, like, okay, this is bothering me. I'm going to say it right now. I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you how I feel,
Yeah.
and then we're going to hash it out.
Yeah.
Where did you learn that?
So I think I learned that from my family.
Mm.
Like, it was either two extremes. We either didn't say anything at all
Hmm.
in terms of being passive aggressive, and we didn't say anything at all, but we still let you know that we were not happy with what was going on. So there's a passive aggressive there. But then there was another extreme, the other side of it, where we would be upset with each other. I would be yelling at the top of our lungs. And this happened when I was, I would say, like more of a teenager,
Okay.
right? Where mom, rest of the family, in order to deal with conflict, our voices are loud, all the emotions are out, we're talking things out. And to me, at that time, that was healthy. It was healthy because at least we were talking about it. Things were getting spoken about right away, issues, problems. And so I was used to that if a family has a problem, most times we're going to hash it out.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that it wasn't always healthy to hash out things right away because let's just be honest, sometimes you are still in the heat of the moment and everyone's getting the thoughts that probably shouldn't come out of your head, right? They're getting your anger because you're saying things that you can't take back.
Mhm.
For me, at least we were talking and that was healthy at the time.
Right.
But to me, your style, that was like really foreign to me.
Mhm.
So, but what about you? Where did you get
Yeah.
your,
I would say the same thing. Like it was modeled to me, I think, by my family. Sort of if you have an issue or a problem, it's not necessarily something that you talk about openly or honestly or right in the moment. It might be something that you just kind of sit on for a while. I think a lot of times that is also a disservice. It's not necessarily healthy because sometimes it never gets brought up, it's never addressed. And then if it's never addressed, unfortunately, after so long of you being disappointed or being hurt, you feeling upset about something, it builds resentment. So that was something that I had to wrestle with when it came to with you. Do I want to find a way to healthfully talk about the things that are upsetting me, or is it something that I just kind of want to sit on?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And I look back and I don't think either of our approaches were were wrong.
Yeah.
I think there was benefits to both of them,
Right.
in my opinion. Like I realized that many times I wanted you to speak about something right away, but forcing you to do that or pushing you to do that when you were not ready was going to end up hurting me because you were going to end up saying something that you may have just kept to yourself while processing. But because I was forcing that, it
It
would end up
came
it came out.
came out the wrong
It
way.
came out the wrong way.
Yeah, or came out in the not the most mature or healthy way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the other thing was I had to realize that I may have had a fear of abandonment that was attached to you not wanting to address something right away. That
Mm.
was my stuff.
So did you feel like because I didn't wanna address things or talk about things right away, that's like I had one foot out the door? That was my exit.
Yeah,
That was the door being cracked open to me leaving.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Like in my mind, you not wanting to address this right away was you on your way out and
Wow.
leaving.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Hmm,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah. Sometimes I was using that to overcompensate. Me wanting to address something right away to overcompensate to make sure that you stayed. And that wasn't healthy at all at the time.
Mm.
And I learned that it's okay. You could take some time to process, and it doesn't mean you're walking away from us. It
Right.
just means that you're walking away to clear your mind so that we can better discuss the situation, the problem, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting too, because I think it triggered an abandonment feeling for me as well when you would try to force me to talk about things right away.
I didn't know that.
Sometimes not addressing an issue feels safer because if you don't address the issue, there's not a chance that the issue that we have will be the thing that ends us. Yeah.
Then say that one more time for the people. Say that one more time.
I don't know how to re-say that.
Yeah.
But basically it was kind of like, okay, if we have an issue and I avoid talking about it, it feels safe. Because if we do happen to talk about
Mhm.
this and we disagree and we can't seem to come to any type of compromise or resolution, that could be the end of us.
Mm.
And that's scary. That's triggering,
Well,
you know?
but would you say that still not talking about it is still not a resolution?
Yeah, but it felt safer.
You see what I'm saying? Like, oh my
I was
gosh.
like,
Yeah.
I'd rather take my chances.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think that's what I had to learn. And what I would say to those that they love to process and take time, and it's healthy, it's perfectly healthy. That I would actually this question, are you truly taking the time to really process to make sure you can come back and speak to your partner about the situation, or are you taking the time to make your partner think you're going to come back and you never come around?
You're just avoiding
You're
it.
just avoiding it, right?
Yeah.
So I think what we had to do was like, okay, take your time to process. I'll
Mhm.
take my time to process.
Mhm.
But when is the designated time that we're going to come back and speak about this?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I think so.
I had to learn to give you a time frame. Like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna need
yeah,
the next couple hours to process, cool off, whatever. And we can talk about this after dinner
yeah,
or just give a general consensus or time that I felt like I could come back around and be like, okay, now we can talk.
yeah. And I think processing things allowed me to realize that I probably needed the extra time myself because you would ask me
Mm.
questions in the moment when I was pushing her to speak in the moment or at that specific time. And then I would kind of speak out loud and I was like, no, this doesn't make any sense what I'm saying, you know? So it's like I needed time to really fully process. And then I realized that I would sometimes blame you for things in the moment
Hmm.
because I was having the conversation right there and then. But you weren't the blame for it. Sometimes there were certain triggers that I had to take responsibility for,
Yes.
but I didn't notice them because I didn't take the time to process. With our families, I think we learned that, okay, maybe we may have grown up with this,
Hmm.
but now it's our choice to make some adjustments.
Absolutely.
Yeah, make some adjustments.
And that was an intentional choice on both of our part.
Yeah,
And we had to find what worked the best for
that's
us.
for us.
How could we compromise in that sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But can I tell you about another communication thing that used to bug me so much that Danielle used to do? Can I talk about that one?
Go ahead.
Okay, I
Oh
talk about
boy.
this one. So a pet peeve of mine in communication was that Danielle, when she had when we were like having an argument or maybe like a disagreement,
Mhm.
right? Argument, disagreement, she would interrupt me in the middle of my thought, like when I'm trying to explain myself. And I used to say to her, I was like, you keep interrupting me. And this is our first couple months of dating. You keep interrupting me. And she's like, no, I have to interrupt you because if I don't, I'm going to forget my thought. And I said to myself, okay, you feel like you're going to forget your thought, but to me, you're listening just to respond. You're actually not listening to what I'm actually saying. You're just thinking
Mhm.
about what your next thought is going to be.
Mhm.
And that used to bug me, used to bug me. And the backstory, the joke is that Danya used to be in this debate team in high school, right? Used to be in this debate team. And I used to tell her, I was like, it seemed like you using all your skills from debate team. Seemed like it in our relationship. So I had to tell her, I said, if I'm gonna talk to you, you cannot be interrupting me like this. And what happened after that?
I was very defensive.
Oh yeah, you were very
I
defensive.
did not like that.
Yeah.
I did not because I felt like if you were making a point, I needed to make a point too.
Yeah.
Then you can't list out your 10 points
Yeah.
and then I have to go back and think about my first point that I
Yeah.
was going to make towards your point. But like you said, and this took a long time for me to learn. Like you said, I wasn't listening to understand you and your perspective. I was listening to defend myself because I'm the type of person to think that I'm always right. I just am. And I had to learn that. I mean, in theory, you can know that you're not always right. But at the end of the day, your brain is kind of always telling you, like, no, you're right. So
Not my brain, just her brain. Just her brain.
hence the cup. Mrs. Always right. You
What does
know,
that say? Mrs. Always
always
wrong.
right.
Wrong. Say it with me. Wrong. Wait a second. Did you let me see
I
this.
did.
Did you
Just for this
really
episode,
bring this cup for this episode?
because I knew you were going to bring it up.
I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it, but now y'all see it.
Now, you know.
For our episode, she brought a cup that says Mrs. Always what? Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
Did we
That's
decide that?
really bad advice, guys.
Yeah. Bad advice. This cup will be in the garbage tomorrow. I would say we had to learn from that. And I think the compromise on my end was like, okay, instead of sharing 5 or 6 points, share 1 or 2 points,
Right.
right? For a minute or two.
Hmm.
Take a breath, take
Mm.
a deep breath and allow her to speak so that she can give her side of things, and then we would go back and forth. And I realized that we weren't the only ones going through it because there were other couples that we'll talk to, and they'll say, "Yeah, like one of us will speak for like 5, 6 minutes." I said, 5, 6 minutes of somebody trying to focus and just hear you out, and the other person doesn't get to speak. That's like, nah, that's not enough. That's not fair at all. Let's talk a little bit about our growth season,
Mm.
right? How each of us matured while dating.
I think I matured the most in the way that I handled you. I think I had to learn how to handle you with care. And what I mean by that is, I don't know if this is a Caribbean thing or my way of being, but I think sometimes I could just be very matter of fact, very just blunt, just very straight to the point about the day to day things that I'm saying or that we're going through. I think I remember one time you were like, don't talk to me that way. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm just telling you that I need to go do this and go do that. And I'm just like, rattling off again my list of things. And he's like, no, but like the way you're saying it as if you're annoyed with me. And I was like, what? For real? And I had to just like take a step back and really evaluate, like, how am I coming across? Like, how is this other person perceiving me and the way that I'm talking to them? And I had to realize that just because people talk to me that way, or just because I was accustomed to that way of or that mode of speaking, didn't mean that that was okay and that everyone else liked it. And the fact that you didn't like it, I had to learn to be considerate to that. And I was like, okay, like, wow, maybe this is something that I need to adjust. Maybe this is something that I need to be more aware of and try. So now I'm trying to be aware, like, okay, let me make sure I say this in a nice way. Is my tone crazy right now? Am I annoyed about something else? And then taking that into how I'm speaking to him. There were so many factors that played into maybe why I was communicating the way I was with you, but I had to learn, like, hey, chill out, like, chill out, girl. It's okay. You can be soft and you can be feminine and you can say things in a really nice way.
Yeah.
You don't have to just be blunt all the time.
Wow. And I said that to you? I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were like, don't talk to me like that.
Oh my gosh. Too funny.
How do you think that you mature and grown in our dating season?
Yeah. I would say, okay, so let me explain it like this. The Levante that you see now, back then, when we were dating, early 20s, I was still laughy, still smiley, but I believe I was very narrow minded back then. Would you agree I was very narrow minded back then?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very narrow minded back then. And Danielle is naturally like open minded. Now, people, if they would look at me now, they would be like, you narrow minded? No way, no way. But I was very narrow minded. And Danielle had to really talk to me about understanding people's walks, where they're coming from, understand their experiences, because sometimes I would make these judgments of people and not really know what they're going through. And so I had to really learn from that. And it's so crazy that this is how I matured because now when I see people that are judgmental and don't understand other people's walks and stories and so on, I get really pissed off. I
You
get
do?
really pissed off. Like, it's like those people, they don't know what it's like to go through challenges and all that. I'm like fighting for those people
Yeah.
that are not your quote unquote perfect person and whose walk is different. I'm like fighting for those people. I make sure that I hear about their stories first. But back then, very narrow minded.
Mhm.
And there were plenty of times where you had to check me in our first year of dating and say, like, hey, you're actually being very judgmental.
Yeah.
And did you ever ask a question? Did you ever take the time to find out what that person went through? And so I feel like I matured in terms of being very open with people. And it helped me now because a lot of people come to me when it comes to advice or relationships
Mhm.
and they trust me, right? They trust me with their story. They trust me with some of the downfalls that they might have and so on. And they wouldn't have ever came to me if I didn't become a different person in terms of understanding their story.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that you learned not to make those assumptions
Mhm.
and not to make those generalizations or have blanket statements. People like to try to make the world black and white, but there are many different shades of gray. And I think that Christ, oh man, I'm preaching.
Yeah, preach. Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on.
But I think that the heart of Christ is to understand people, their story, where they are, and to meet them.
I would definitely agree. And I'm not trying to preach right now. I'm just saying that as Christians, for those of you that identify as Christian, because we're Christian,
Yeah.
before you say anything about a person, this is what I've learned. Before you say anything about a person, make sure you walk a day in their shoes. Walk in their shoes. See what challenges they've gone through. See what experiences they've had. Because you may feel exactly how they feel, or even worse. So I just learned to be a more compassionate person. I'm not that same judgmental person I used to be. And if I was, we most likely wouldn't have been married right now.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that would have been very hard for us to reconcile.
Yeah. So that's what I would say.
Yeah,
I matured for the better.
absolutely.
And I want to thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
I love that.
I'm now a safe person, not only for my family now, but for others as well. I'm a safe space. I'm a soft place to land. I wouldn't trade the safe person that I am for anything.
I love that about you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
because you're my soft place to land.
I like that.
Yeah,
But I think we gave the people, just enough
a
tonight.
good glimpse
Yeah, a good
for
glimpse
sure.
for sure.
Yeah. It was
And
a challenging 2 years, but it was a good 2 years and a necessary 2 years of dating.
yeah.
Yeah.
And next time I think we'll talk about our proposal and wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you like this video, make sure that you like,
Comment.
comment, and subscribe to our page. We would love to hear from you. What have your dating experiences been like? What were some challenges that you had to face?
Thank you for joining us today.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.